got to stand up strong. Think the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Sorry for coming in late. Well, not sorry for it, but I shouldn't have come in late, but I didn't realize the show was starting already. What the? My bad. It was me and no one else. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. And if you're out and about, you can be listening to the show no matter where you are or what you're doing. If you're a cartel and you're trying to help the people get into America anyway, because if you don't, you're going to lose money. If you are a trafficker of people and you're trying to get them sold over here and then President Trump is in the way, mess with your money, and you don't like it, but you got to stay busy, you could be listening to the show. Or if you're just relaxing at a beach in El Salvador, San Salvador, you could be listening to the show. Or you're at church, you could be listening to the show. Or you're just making breakfast, lunch, or dinner by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. It is Monday. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. Hanging around, nothing to do but frown. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. It's Monday, and I am never down on Mondays. And I am never down on rainy days. I love rainy days. I used to love driving in the rain. So that song doesn't apply to me. But anyway, it's Monday. And for those who don't know, Monday is for the females, so we take the females' call first when they come in, as they come in, but we take all calls. All right? And today is, and will always be, Female Monday. All my life, I had to fight.
I like to make men uncomfortable.
All my life I had to fight.
Let women take over.
Some of us believe that women are getting paid less than men.
I proudly say I'm a feminist. Thank you.
I'm proud of it.
Deep in their soul, they want to be home with those babies. We've been lied to for so long.
Yeah. Amazing. Female Monday. 888-7753-773. And happy George Washington birthday. Today is George Washington's birthday. And so today is actually not the birthday, but they celebrate it on Monday to give you a long holiday weekend. And I have on my George Washington birthday shirt. Isn't that amazing? Happy birthday, George. And we appreciate what you've done. Last week, we dealt with, yesterday at the fellowship. If you were not at the fellowship yesterday, you missed it. Unless you were watching it online. I want to just remind the people who are truly working on themselves, the men and women. I want to encourage you to stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, no matter what. If the whole world turned against you, if you find yourself alone or around others, if the deceiver try to tell you you're not going to make it, or it's taking too long, or the pain is too great, you stay with it. If you until you don't go to the meetings, don't watch it online, don't do this, don't give in to that, pay that no attention, and stay with it. No matter where you are in the whole wide world, stay with it. Stay with it, stay with it. Stay on that straight and narrow journey. And you will discover how powerful and strong the truth is. And that God is. The strength of God. You don't know it yet, but you will if you stay with it. So I don't care what people say about you, who walk away. Your wife or your husband want to leave you. Your children want to leave. Let them go. Bye. You cannot and shall not and cannot, will not, ain't not. If you want to know God, you cannot have any other God before him. You can't have any other heroes or anything before God. You should only love God with all your heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else, and then you shall be free. You will be free. And freedom is nothing that you can imagine. You can't imagine freedom because you hear the word freedom and automatically you go into your mind what freedom means. It's not the same. You can be free. There is no reason at all, zero reason for you to be suffering in your life. Zero reason. Really. You, in all honesty, and I'm telling you the whole truth and nothing but the truth, but I had to learn this too. You have no problems. Zero problem. You have never had a problem. You cannot have a problem, and you don't have a problem. You just don't know it because you have been lied to. You, if you want to be free, do what you want. But if you want to be free, you got to unlearn everything that you've been taught. And you've been taught wrongly. And if you notice that people who taught you how to live, how to think, and how to treat others, and how to do this or that, what type of career to get or not to have, or blah, 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 they are miserable. They taught you, oh, you got to get married. You got miserable people telling you how to be free, and you're believing it. It's like an angry elephant telling you how to be better, telling another elephant how not to be angry. You've been listening to people, and that's been your problem. You've been trying to live up to what everyone's saying you should live up to, not paying attention that the people who are telling you these things are miserable. Your family, your parents, your friends, your church, your preacher. They have told you the wrong way to live, and you're trying your best to live up to it. 80 and 90 years of trying, and it's not working. But you won't even stop and say, you know what, this is not working. What's up? Instead, you go through everything that they have gone through, and then you'll make children, and then you try to tell your children to live the way you've been living, not telling them, hey, the way I've been doing is not working. Don't go that way. You've been going to church every day, but you don't tell your children it's not working. You can be free, but you can't have any idea of what freedom is. All ideas are wrong. All ideas, all thoughts are all wrong all the time. You gotta let go of your ideas. Amazing, huh? And so we dealt with a little bit with last week's biblical question, does Satan know God? Does Satan know God? I'm here to tell you, Satan and his little demons do not know God. He has no connection to God at all. He's been cast away into darkness, and in darkness there's no love, no freedom, no nothing, just darkness. And that's why Satan hates, because he's trying to find a God to worship, and then he finds gods to worship, but he hates the gods that he worship, and so do you. Anyone that has anger is separated from God, and you do not know him. I don't care how many churches, how many times you've gone down and accepted Jesus. I don't care what your thoughts and beliefs are about God and Jesus. You don't know God at all. You've been taught about him. And the people who taught you about him don't know him. They just taught you as to what they read or what they heard. What a mess. Satan does not know God. He does the same thing you do, make heroes, and you call them God. And then you hate your God. Have you noticed you hate all the people you worship? Eventually you end up hating them, and then you blame them for your worshiping them, putting them on pedestals. You don't even see that it's you that's doing it. What a mess! And so stay with it, ladies and gentlemen, men and women, stay with it. I don't care what. Stay with it. Stay with it. And stay with it. And the truth will reveal itself to you, just like the lie has done all of your life. You can overcome the lie. So no, Satan does not know God. Brand new biblical question. And it's a doozy. Brand new one. How do you trust God? I hear a lot of people who said they trust God. Is that Hassan? Sitting there?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it looks like Hassan for the back. Waiting on God, waiting on God. Huh?
We can believe it is.
Waiting on God, waiting on God. He's waiting on you. How do you trust God? I hear it all the time. People say they trust God. How do you trust God? How? I want to know. Isn't that an amazing biblical question? And I want to tell you this. Anger anyone that has anger is miserable. You're having a horrible life. You are destroying yourself. Anyone that has anger is living in total hell. And they're trying hard not to live in that hell, but they are. You can't help it. You have anger. Anger is evil. There is no such thing as good anger. Anger is evil. And anyone that has anger is stupid. You're stupid. Have you noticed that when you're angry, don't you act stupid? You say, you think, you say, and you act out in a stupid way. Angry people destroy their own children. Think about that. Angry people, all races, I don't care how much money you have or don't have. Angry people destroy their own children. I can't tell you, right now it's like I can write a whole book just about angry mothers who are destroying the man's children because they hate the man. And they hate their own children too. But they hate the father and they are destroying the children by deliberately keeping them away from the father and then treating the children with no love because they don't have love. Angry people destroy their own children. And you want to believe, and go ahead and believe it if you want. Go ahead and believe it. If you want that Jesus was angry. And to justify you being angry, you'll listen to the devil. There's never, ever, ever, but never, 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 ever, 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 but never a reason to be angry. And you believe anger is good and you justify because the devil's telling you, you're in his nature, he's telling you anger. Jesus was angry, so no. In the Bible, it says Jesus is angry. I don't know why they put it that way in the Bible, because it is deceiving a lot of people. Jesus was not angry. How can you be angry when you're of perfect love? Jesus was of perfect love. He had nothing wrong. That's why he was able to sacrifice and get us back from hell, because he has not done anything wrong. Hell took him in, but hell didn't deserve him. It's like using somebody else's credit card that you stole and you didn't deserve it, and then you go to jail. Or it's your own credit card, and someone tell you that you stole it, you go to jail. You didn't deserve to go to jail because you didn't steal the credit card. That's the way. Jesus was not guilty of anything. Had he had anger, he would have been guilty. And Satan would have been able to own him. And he would not have been able to sacrifice and buy us back. It would have been bad credit. And the people fighting in this country. I had someone tell me just over the weekend, I asked, did you vote for the Great White Hope? No way. They were like, Donald Trump is moving too fast. He's moving too fast. You need a bipartisan. He need to be bipartisan. You don't even know what bipartisan means. He was like, he didn't know what bipartisan meant. He's moving too fast. I'm like, moving too fast for who? Is he moving too fast for you? You ain't doing nothing. Amazing, huh? Get your own life, folks. And speaking of the Great White Hope, the Great White Hope has put his mugshot right outside the Oval Office. This is from Ford. A photo taken Thursday by President Donald Trump meeting with the Indian Prime Minister at the White House has revealed Trump's 2023 mugshot, framed and hanging just outside of the door of the Oval Office. What is this?
This just out. It was a photo that was taken yesterday in the Oval Office. So zoomed out, it just looks like an ordinary photo, right? You see the president there with Modi, the Secretary of State, just a meeting. But when you zoom in into that door, what you see captured in that red circle is the mugshot of President Trump. Now, this is a rather interesting place. This is called Outer Oval. This is where pretty much every guest, with few exceptions, walks through. Then to the left, you see the top of a grandfather mahogany clock. And then you walk into the Oval Office, meaning just about every guest, with few exceptions, some enter the Roosevelt Room, will walk past the Fulton County mugshot of President Donald J. Trump. How is that for irony?
Amazing. How smart is that? Everyone that walked past over to the Oval Office got to see what the president been through and will be reminded of what he had to go through. How smart is that? Oh, I bet the Democrats hate that. What the? Anger is evil, and anyone that has anger cannot be trusted. You better take an angry person as at his or her word. And don't you try to say, oh, you don't mean it. Yes, they do. They mean it. Congratulations, Mr. President. And one other quick, and then I get to your call. I want to know your thoughts on this. And just a little feedback. What do you think about it? There is an Alabama woman recently posted a video revealing her new Kill the Klan t-shirt. I just wonder, what do you think about this message? Watch this from X.
So I'm a nobody from Alabama, and I don't have many followers, and I would love to be doing other things in more aggressive ways. But this is all I got right now. And we're gonna go to Walmart. This is the back. So let's go.
For those that couldn't see, she was wearing a shirt. The front of the shirt was an image of what looked like a Klan member being hung, being lynched, if I may. And the back of the shirt said, "Kill the Klan."
Amazing, huh? Could she have worn a shirt with a black man on there like that? And said, "Kill the blacks"? And she had like she had nothing to do. Somebody trying to get attention. And she going to Walmart like that. You don't think she's doing that for attention? You got another thought coming. What a evil world we live in. A clamp is being hanged. What the? She's trying to get attention. Believe me. Down there in Alabama, nothing else to do. And Satan told her, put on a Klan shirt, make a video of it, and go down to Walmart so you get more attention with it. She's like, okay, devil, I shall do it. 888-775-3773. Let me go to Jessica, first time call out of Florida. Jessica, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hey, Jessica.
Hi. Just want to tell you that you're so funny and that I'm glad that you say things the way they are. People don't like to hear the truth.
Amazing. It's amazing that the truth is controversial and the lie is accepted. It's mind-blowing.
So it's true. One, I want to say that the thing with Trump and his picture, his mugshot, I think that's awesome.
It's brilliant.
I'm glad that he put that there. That's like, just poking at the devil, and I really do like that.
Yeah.
But I'm calling because my boyfriend and I just had a discussion this morning. He's white, I'm Puerto Rican, and it was a good conversation with nothing wrong. And I told him, I said, you know what? I don't know why ethnic people want to be victims all the time. I said, I don't understand why they want to pity themselves constantly. Why can't they go and show that they're better and that, they're worthy and just live life? I've been called spick, wetback, all these different racial slurs, and it never affected me.
Yeah.
I kept on moving along. I was just like, they're stupid, they're ignorant, oh well. And I just lived my life. I wasn't gonna be a victim. It gets me mad. It gets me mad how ethnic people are the way they are. And when I say ethnic, I mean everyone.
Right.
It's just, and it looks like white people want to be victims too. They want to be victims.
Amazing.
I don't understand it. All I know is there's a lot of mental illness going on, and tell you those demons are rampant.
They are. People are angry and they're lost, and then being lost, they call themselves victims, and they have other people help call them victims, and they love it.
Why do you think that?
They love the thrill of it. They love the ego of it. They love that others feel sorry for them. They think they're going to get something free from it. And in today's American, being a victim pays off in a material way. It doesn't last and it doesn't help you, but it's all for the thrill of it. It's abnormal in America that it's that way. It's only became that way over the last 70 years. But beforehand, Americans loved being independent, working for themselves. They had no excuses for anything. But it's the thrill of it now. They think they can get something free.
Yeah. I don't know. It kind of confused me. I'm raising my children to follow God, love everyone, even if they don't love you, just love everyone.
Yeah, don't
but
hate
you
them.
have to defend myself. You have to defend yourself.
Right.
I'm teaching my son that he's not a woman. He's a man. And when he gets older, this is how he has to act. He has to protect women. He has to be protector, and he has to be the provider.
Well, I would recommend you not teach him all those things, but that you be a living example of it.
Oh, definitely.
And then being a living example of it, he will naturally grow in that way. But if you try to teach him that, he's going to try to live up to that, and it won't work. Because a lot of women are teaching their sons to be protective of women, and the women are ending up destroying them.
No, I get what you're saying. Maybe it's the way I said it.
Yeah.
Like, he knows, like, he's very, I guess you can say, protective of me. He always worries about me. He's like, hey, Mom, that guy looks a little weird. Come over here, and I'll protect you. That kind of protection.
How old is he?
He's 11.
Oh, okay.
He's going to be 12. So he has that, in him. He's a very sweet boy, but he knows who he is.
Amazing.
And I told him, nobody can tell you who you are who you have to be.
Yeah.
And thank God he's in a Christian school, so that helps him. But my daughter's in a public school.
Oh, God.
And even she knows. Well, she's she goes to a really good school, so she's
Jessica,
very strong.
I got to take a break. Call me again. Thank you. Back in a moment, folks. Thank you, Jessica. totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married, and the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good, or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. I hear that gold is going up. The value is going up faster than 90 going north. And I've been telling you about Goldco. I reminded you that Goldco was rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. I've told you that they earned over 6,000 plus 5-star reviews online. I've told you about Goldco. And I mentioned to you that they were won the award from Money.com in 2024 Best Customer Service and 2023 Best Educational Resources. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Goldco and I have a special for my listeners here on the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. Qualified accounts receive 10% instant match in bonus silver. May I repeat that? 10% instant match in bonus silver. Qualified accounts receive. So I hurry, run, and learn more about Goldco by going to JesseLovesGold.com. JesseLovesGold.com or call 855-644-GOLD. That's 855-644-GOLD. Tell them Jesse sent you. Amazing. It's going up. Okay, folks, welcome back. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Joseph, a first-time caller out of California. Joseph, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, Jesse. How you doing?
All is well.
I had kind of two questions pertaining to forgiving your parents, especially your mother.
Yes.
So just like real quick background. I was raised by a single mom, and she lost me to foster care at 12. And I grew up, everything's fine. She was doing her thing. She was on drugs, on and off. I made my own life. I have a wife. I have 2 boys.
Real man make boys first.
And then basically she, obviously wanted to get back into my life. She got back. She found the Lord again. She raised me very religiously, but then just lost her way. So I'm very religious. She's very religious. She's saved, but I'm telling you, she's full of anger. She has so much anger. I've let go, and I'm fine. And I've forgiven her. I've told her I've forgiven her. I thank God for putting me through what He put me through. Otherwise, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And I love my sons. I love my wife. So everything happened for a reason. So I don't hold it against her. It was God's plan for me to have my boys. But my question is, when I talk to her still, like I go weeks without talking to her, but when I talk to her, the day I talk to her, the rest of my day is like tilted. I feel upset. I feel irritated. Does that mean that I haven't fully forgiven her?
Have you gone to her and told her you were sorry for resenting her?
I haven't gone to her. She lives in Kentucky. I've told her in person I've forgiven her. Like I've said it time and time again. I'm not mad at her. I forgive her. But still, when she calls me, she irks me when I talk to her, when I have to talk to her. So is that a problem with me not forgiving her? Because I could tell you I've forgiven her. I don't hold anything against her. I'm fine. But when I talk to her, she talks to me, I just get
Why do
old
you talk
emotions.
to her? Why do you talk to her?
Because I want to help her. I think part of helping keep her on the right track, like not being on drugs, is being able to. She lives in Kentucky now, but to be able to participate in my grandkids' lives by seeing them on FaceTime and watching them grow.
And two things you said: you want to help her, and you want her to see your children. Why do you want to help her?
Because I think she's a lost soul that I don't know. It's my mom.
And why do you think you can help anyone and you can't even help yourself? Why are you playing God?
That's a good point.
No, that was a question.
Because I don't know what I'm doing.
And then you try to help someone that you hate. Does that make sense?
That's what I'm asking. I don't think I hate her. I don't think I hate her.
I know, but you don't like it when she calls. It irks you. It makes you angry.
Yeah.
And you say your mother is a something like, I forgot exactly how you put it. She's a good saved Christian or something. But she's filled with anger. Why would you call her a Christian as she's filled with anger?
That's what she says.
Well, you're calling her that too.
Yeah.
How can you be a Christian and filled with anger? You can't serve two gods.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
You're right. You can't serve two gods.
So, number one, I recommend. Are you doing the silent prayer?
No, not yet.
And why not?
I don't know.
You love your misery?
Seems like it sometimes, but no. I just started getting into like maybe this month.
Oh, I see. You should start doing the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. And I recommend, do what you want, but I recommend you stay away from her. Just don't resent her. She got the same problem you're having. She has them, and they came. Your thinking and emotions and stuff came from her, and hers came from her mother, and so on and so on. So I recommend you start doing the silent prayer so you can stay out of the thoughts. God will remove them from you. And I highly recommend you keep this woman away from you and your family, period. Just don't be angry at her. There's no reason for her to be around you and your children.
Okay. I'm sorry. Just one last thing. This is the second part. She lives in Kentucky right now.
Yes.
And she's dying of cancer. And she's been begging me to come out there and, kind of say goodbye to her. Do you think that I should go out there and say goodbye for closure, or I should just stay out here in California?
I don't know what you mean by closure, but if you have forgiven her, it should be already closed.
So there's no need to see her in person. And
do you think you need to do that?
I don't think so.
Then why are you letting her make you doubt yourself? Why do you want to go and see the devil before the devil dies?
Yeah.
No, that was a question.
I don't know. I don't know why.
So if you ever speak to her, do what you want, but if she ever speaks to you again, she's like, oh, come and see me before I die. You just say, oh, okay, Mom, bye. I wish you well. Do what you want, but don't be seduced by evil inside of you or outside of you inside of others.
Do you think that I won't have any type of, this is the only thing that I'm not really concerned about, but my wife just trying to look out for the best of me, like, and other people, my grandpa as well, like telling me that if I don't do this, I might regret it later, not saying goodbye to my mom.
Well, can't you say goodbye on the phone?
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been saying. I've been saying like I don't want to, but everyone's trying to look out for the best of me and tell me that.
But how is that the
go
best of you? How is that the best for you that you need to go to her to say goodbye? You can say bye on the phone. Or FaceTime if you got to say goodbye.
Yeah.
I don't know why you have to say goodbye anyway, but okay.
For closure, I guess. But yeah, thank you.
Your wife told you should go?
She thinks if I want to, I should for closure, so that I don't feel some type of way. She dies like, oh, I wish I would have seen her. I wish I would have said goodbye. I don't think I will though.
Right.
I don't think I will have that feeling.
So every time you listen to your wife, you're gonna suffer.
Yeah.
Here's what I recommend. You do this. You said you've forgiven her. You apologize to her for resenting her because you realize she couldn't help herself as you can't help yourself. You cannot save anyone. You can't even save yourself. Only God can do that when you let go, when you surrender to Him. And then do the silent prayer, stay out of thoughts, and start living your life.
Okay.
You need to see what's right for yourself and do the right thing because you got a bunch of angry people around you giving you bad advice and keeping you in hell as they are in hell.
Yeah. Okay.
And so when those thoughts come that tells you that you're angry, you're still angry, don't believe them. Let them pass so you can overcome thoughts. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. There's no such thing as truth in thought.
Yeah, I've been learning that from you. It's kind of amazing once you separate yourself from your thoughts.
Yes. So practice living that way and be free right now. You don't have to live in your hell.
Right on. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Anything I've said you disagree with?
Nope.
So start living your life, and if your grandpa wants, tell grandpa to go see her and say bye. Tell your wife to go see her and say bye. I wouldn't let my wife go to her, but tell your wife to go. You don't need to say bye. You've already said bye. Bye, Mom. I wish you well.
Right.
And you can't save her. You can't save anyone. So stop playing God.
Right. You're right. I appreciate it. That was just a kind of confirmation that I needed because even before I started listening to you, I was on the fence about it. Like I don't feel like that's something I need to do, but you definitely solidified it for me. Thank you.
And if the thought should come, oh, you should have gone and say bye, you feel good, you let that pass because there is no you to be feeling guilty about anything. You've never done anything wrong.
Right.
All right? Do the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. Call me back and let me know how that's going.
All right. Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate it.
I wish you well, man.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Amazing. Seth, there's one line open, 888-77-JESSE. Seth is a first-time caller out of Maine. Seth, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yes, it's good to be on your show.
Thank you.
I am a big fan. I think that you're a national treasure, and I appreciate all that you're doing and saying for this generation of people.
Thank you.
Yes. So I did have, when you were talking about anger.
Yes.
And Jesus being angry.
Yes.
I didn't quite agree with that because I feel that I feel that there's different types of anger, and I feel that anger can be a positive force to have a constructive force to make change. Like the Bible says, God is angry with the sinner daily. And so I think that when we study what the word anger meant, when they translated it in the Bible from the Greek and from the Hebrew, that anger is kind of a lot of times in the American culture, I think we think of anger in one way, but anger can have several different types of meanings. So I think that when we get upset, like a righteous indignation, like I think when Jesus went into the temple, that he was mad that people had so corrupted his temple, which was supposed to be a house of prayer. And so I think that, so like the love of God, true perfect love, cannot have sin in its presence. So like the love of God, God can't let an unholy, unrighteous person into heaven because his love is so pure and holy. To let something so destructive as sin into heaven would go against and make heaven an unperfect place. So for heaven to be perfect, he can't let sin in. So I think that the love of God is angry with sin because he has offered a way for us not to sin, which was the shed blood of Christ. So I think that there's different types of anger, and I think the anger that you're talking about that's wrong is 100% is right to a point, but I think that, like, so if my son does something wrong, I get angry with him or angry with the situation, and then that propels me to tell him the right way to do it and what he did wrong.
So if you believe there's righteousness in anger, why did Christ say anyone that has anger is evil, and anyone that has anger is a murderer? Do not trust an angry man.
Yeah. So did Christ use the term anger, or did he use hate? Because I thought he used the word hate.
Hate and anger is the same. It's just that they've changed the wording down through the years because they're trying to make it sound right and soft. But anger is hatred, and anyone that has hatred play God. They think they can save themselves and others. They think they know right from wrong. They think they know what they want. But hatred is anger. Anyone that has anger has hatred. And so if hatred is, if there's any good in anger, which is hatred, why didn't Christ say don't trust a person with anger, they're a murderer?
Right, I guess I would take that to be like, so I had an uncle who was very angry all the time. He had a lot of unforgiveness. He hated anybody that ever wronged him. And he was like a very angry man. He'd go off. His emotions were out of control because he never learned to curb it because he never forgave and followed the Bible. And so he was an angry man. So I think, so when I think of like an angry man and what the Bible's talking about, I'm talking about I think of someone like him. However, I think sometimes as a righteous person, we will get angry with sin. So like angry with the situation.
But then if you have anger, you're a murderer, and you should not be trusted. It didn't tell you, okay, right, you can be angry about this, but not about that. You can be angry about this, but not about that. It says, do not trust an angry person. An angry person is a murderer. Also, an angry person is separated from God. Right.
I guess.
Are you a
the
Christian?
Bible says in Ephesians. Yes, I am.
And do you have anger?
No, I don't. I like I said, I have not that type of anger.
Do you have anger?
I get angry with situations, and then I fix them, and then I move on. And if it's something that I can't fix, then I just forgive it and let it go.
Do you have anger?
The Bible does say, no.
You don't have anger?
No.
But you say you get angry sometimes.
Right. I get
How do you get
angry
angry sometimes if you don't have anger?
Well, because the Bible says be angry and sin not in the book of Ephesians. So it's what I do with that anger.
And do you sin with your anger?
I have before, and sometimes I do, and then I have to repent and turn from that. If I get angry about somebody's stupidity and I don't give it to God the proper way, then I have, sure.
What a mess. Which is easier for you to accept? That you are a sinner, or all your sins have been wiped away?
And all my sins have been washed away by the blood, but that don't give me a license to live in sin.
Which is easier for you to accept, that you are a sinner or all your sins have been wiped away?
Both. The same, for sure.
You can't have both.
I
You can
feel it's
only have
equal.
one or the other.
Right, I guess that's an opinion for sure.
What's an opinion?
That you can't, because all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, being justified freely by His grace.
Which is easier for you to accept, that you are a sinner or all your sins have been wiped away?
That all my sins have been wiped away would, I guess, be my answer.
And then why do you believe you're a sinner if all your sins have been wiped away?
Well, that's a good point, right? So,
No,
yes,
that was a question.
Because I'm a new creature.
That was
right.
a question. That was a question.
Right. Yeah, so my answer would be that I'm not, I'm a new creature in Christ.
But you just said that you are.
Well, I mean, all people still sin. The Bible says if somebody says there's no sin in him or that he don't sin, that he's a liar. And
The Bible does not say that at all.
It actually does.
No, it doesn't.
It says if anybody says that they have done, and I think it uses the term sin, but it definitely says if anybody says they have done or they do no wrong, they're lying and the truth
That's
is not
in the
them.
Bible either. You're making up stuff.
I'll find it I'll find it and read it to you.
There's nowhere in the Bible it says what you just said that it says.
He saith, hold on.
But I can't because it's not Bible Thumping Thursday. But if you can call me back on Bible Thumping Thursday, we can go a little bit longer.
Okay, so that's on Thursday?
Bible Thumping Thursday. And find all the...
But there are different... Do you mind if I say just one more thing, Jesse?
Yeah.
When we look at what the word anger meant in the 1611 version, in that time frame when they translated the King James Bible, anger had multiple definitions, and so the word anger, there's different types of anger. There's different types of anger, and as a matter of fact, the Bible talks about the wrath of God being poured out on people.
It's amazing that you're trying to justify anger.
I'm not trying to justify anger at all.
Yes, you are.
The Bible says
You're
God
using
is angry.
the
Bible says
Bible.
God is angry.
You're using the Bible to justify evil, and that's mind-blowing to me, but I understand it. I really do understand it. Hold on to your anger, and we'll see how far that gets you.
No, no. But the Bible does say that God is angry with the sinner daily.
Do you have perfect peace?
So what do you think the Bible means when it says God is angry with the sinner daily?
Do you have perfect peace?
Yes, I do.
How can you have perfect peace and anger?
Right. I'm not angry right now, but say,
how can you have perfect peace and anger?
If I was to see somebody kill somebody right now, that would make me angry. That would make me angry.
How can you have perfect peace and anger?
Because I have perfect. When I get angry, it's a perfect anger.
No, I'm asking you, how can you have perfect peace and anger? Real fast.
You can, just because.
That's amazing.
It's not anger.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, buddy. Call me on Bible Thumping Thursday with that. Got to take a break. 2 more hours to go. When I come back, straight to your calls. 888-7753-773. 888-77-Jesse. Quick break. Hate news, not the fake news, but the hate news. And I'll be back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. Freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing. .
Some serious mess going on in the world, but fret not, it's Washington's birthday, and JLP has a Abraham Lincoln shirt on. And the federal firings are happening, even at the FAA, but don't worry, it's not the air traffic controllers that they're firing, although maybe some of them they maybe should, and bring in some qualified people. Trump is working with Russia to end the Ukraine war, at least hopefully. Europe is mad and scared, in the UK too. They're holding an emergency summit. And storms are blowing through. Flood warning. It's cold. There's power outages across the beautiful South and back east, I guess. We wish you well. Be careful. This is the end of hour one of the JLP Peterson Show. It is Female Monday, February 17th, 2025 AD. There is one line open. You can call in right now, even during Hake News, Not Fake News, and JLP will get to your calls, ladies and gents. Very nice. Calming Nonsense Network, CNN reports today is what they call Washington's birthday, observed, obviously, because didn't actually fall on this Monday. It's the 22nd, I think. The federal holiday commemorating the first and one of the greatest presidents of the United States who served, and he actually served, I think. Or did he? 1789 to 1797. Many Americans also call it President's Day, with an apostrophe after the S, usually, while some states decided not to recognize the holiday at all. Terrible. I don't know. Less than 3 weeks after a deadly midair collision over Washington, D.C., hundreds of Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, employees are being fired. You're out of there. The FAA is the latest so-called critical government agency impacted by widespread job cuts in the federal so-called workforce. Work may be a misnomer for some of these federal employees, superfluous, many of them. Many of the probationary employees being terminated include those who maintain radio and computer systems and develop new flight procedures. The firings do not include air traffic controllers who are in short supply. They're understaffed, so go be an air traffic controller if you're looking for direction in life. I don't know, maybe. Amid a decades-long staffing shortage, officials have set their sights on probationary workers typically employed for less than a year because they have fewer job protections and lack the right. They have no right to appeal. Nice. Unfortunately, all these people who are just bums, but they've been there a long time, tenured or whatever, seniority and mess, you can't get rid of some of the worst people. It's terrible. And the Ukraine, European so-called leaders will hold an emergency summit on the Ukraine and their continent's security today as concern grows that President Donald J. Trump's, our greatest, his push to work with Russia to end that war in the Ukraine has left Kiev and Europe isolated. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, not very Christian, I don't think, who called the summit in Paris a once-in-a-generation moment for national security, said he was ready to put British troops on the ground in the Ukraine if necessary. Wow, psycho, huh? The summit comes, big talk, the summit comes before the U.S. and Russian officials meet in Saudi Arabia for talks on ending the war. Sources told Commie Nonsense those talks would begin tomorrow, Tuesday. We wish you well, Ukraine and Russia and lame-o Europeans and UK. Shout out. And that crazy weather, millions of people under flood warnings after powerful storms ripped across the eastern United States yesterday, Sunday. 10 people dead at least. Thousands in the region without power. Water levels reached historic highs in Kentucky, where emergency responders performed over 1,000 rescues in 24 hours. So be careful. Up by the Great Lakes, all kinds of snow. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP. Hour 2.
Men have got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE, JESSE. And my brand new biblical question is a doozy. How do you trust God? You say you trust God. How do you do that? How do you trust God? All right. And you can listen to the show. We are heard around the world by everybody and they mama if you're black. And everybody and their mama if you're white. And for the flat earthers, up and down the world if you're a flat earther. So it's for everyone. And so if you're busy running around doing whatever you're doing, you can podcast the show, but you can be listening on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. That's 605-615-4131. And to donate, and we got to get to your super chats. To donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk and Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It is Monday. And every Monday is Let It Be Written, Let It Be Said, Let It Be Known. Female Monday. All my life, I had to fight.
I like to make men uncomfortable.
All my life I had to fight.
Let women take over.
Some of us believe that women are getting paid less than men.
I proudly say I'm a feminist. Thank you.
Deep in their soul, they want to be home with those babies. We've been lied to for so long.
That's right. A spiritual battle like 90 going north. A battle between good and evil. Right versus wrong. It's up to you. You can live in your misery or you can overcome it. You can stay there or you can overcome it. It's up to you. It's your life. Do what you want. It's your life. Do what you want. I can't tell you what to do. Do what you want that you want to do. Amazing. So I want to know, then I get back to the phone. I was told this morning, and maybe I heard it before, but I just forgot, that over in New Zealand, and you all can correct me if this is not true, that over in New Zealand, Christianity is not very popular anymore. They got a bunch of Allah people over there, and it's a mess. And just as over here, they're promoting everything that's wrong and nothing that's good. And if you try to stand up for what you believe is good, is not allowed in New Zealand. Isn't that amazing? That was happening here until the Great White Hope, Donald Trump, took over. So there was, this is from the Daily Mail. There was, from the Daily Mail, a Christian fundamentalist group clashed with police after it protested a rainbow pride parade in Auckland, New Zealand. Watch this from X. What do you think about that, Nick?
That's I'm familiar with the Maori haka and that face and the dancing and all that.
I wonder what that was about.
Yeah, it's like a warrior thing, but it's
a little evil.
It's very old. They used to do that before they'd like destroy their enemies in battle, so it's a far cry from what it used to be.
What is it called?
The haka.
And what does that mean?
You know, I don't know what it means, but I know it's that dance and I don't know if you could call it a song, but there's lyrics to it and all that.
Like Indian people?
They're Maori or descendants of
and so
in New Zealand.
Oh, so
I know a few by heart.
Huh?
I know a few hakas by heart.
You what?
I said I know a few hakas by memory.
What does that mean?
Like I know a couple of these from beginning to end.
You know the words?
Yeah.
Is it like a song or just words?
It's just words. They don't really sound like they're singing. They're just yelling. But yeah, there's words to it, and they learn it growing up.
So the Indians over there are called Maka?
Maori.
Maori. So it is like an Indian thing.
Correct.
Oh.
Like native, yeah.
That's amazing. And you know some of the words?
Yeah.
You went to Mara school?
I had a pen pal.
Oh.
I learned a few. They do them at those, at like sports matches and stuff. You see them do it, maybe, yelling at their opposing team.
And it's supposed to scare the people off?
It's supposed to, but, you know, the people who do the hakas today don't then go into battle and kill their enemies. They're just yelling at LGBT people on the street, so it looks like primitive animals fighting with each other.
No, they're like two devils fighting on each side.
Right.
Wow, I've never seen that before. The haka is a ceremonial dance and challenges from New Zealand Maka people.
Maori.
Oh, from New Zealand Maori people that symbolizes strength, unity, and pride. Amazing.
That face they make is called pukana. Which is supposed to be like just intense and passion and to scare your enemies.
It was intense.
Show me your pukana.
And the police were running them off, right? Ran them off, like, go back, go back, go back. What a mess. When will you stop fighting? The world say fight. And the truth says not to fight. Lay down your weapon and I will fight your battles for you. But you keep fighting your own battles within and without, and it's only get worse. It's not getting any better. When will you lay down your weapons and let life happen. Be protected by what is good. What the Maori people, they call Maori?
Yeah, Maori.
Maori people need to do is run for office that they want to have some impact. Run for office and then vote in the kind of things like Donald Trump is doing. Vote in the things you like to see happen. Don't fight with the devil. You don't see Donald Trump fighting with the devil at all. He's just living and doing what's in front of him. That's how you win. Stop fighting with the devil inside of you and inside of others. Why don't you stop? The world taught you wrong. Isn't that amazing? Amazing. Let me go to Greg out of Florida. He's been waiting a while. Greg, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Jesse. How y'all guys doing today?
All is well, Greg. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I got a couple of questions for you.
Happy Washington birthday today.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is George Washington.
Yes, sir.
So I've finally gotten rid of all my vices that I've had, and that ego pain is bad, like to the point to where it's just adrenaline running all day, you know, because I've used so many things all my life to get rid of that pain, but it didn't get rid of it, you know, just covered it up.
Yes.
And to the point, you know, the anxiety's so bad, and, you know, I can feel when the devil wants me to overreact, you know, I can feel him inside of me. I can feel that anger and that hatred in there.
Yep.
And I can feel it coming out, you know, like it wants to come out, you know. And sometimes I find myself, because it's so uncomfortable, you know, and it's giving me health problems, son. You know, I get anxiety, I get indigestion and heartburn and upset stomach. And because I've went to the doctor, they've run all kind of tests on me to make sure it wasn't anything major. And they said, no, it's all anxiety. You got to get rid of anxiety. It's going to kill you. And so now that I don't have any anxiety medicine or anything to combat that, you're saying I just sit in that and trust that God's going to bring me through it.
Well, I'm not really telling you to let your medication go or any of that. I'm not a doctor, so I don't give medical advice. But I do know that if you want real life, you got to die from the fake life. You are not your anger. You're not the anxiety. You're not the worry. You're not the suicidal thought. You're not the lonely one. You're not the angry one. Fearful one. You're none of those things, but you have called yourself those things all of your life, and you believe in them. And that's a fake life. It's a false life. And in order to have real life, reality life, you must die from the false life. You got to live in it. You got to sit with it. You got to sleep with it. You got to ride with it. You got to do nothing about it. And the Father would save you from it. He'll take all that away from you.
So in the past, I've used, you know, they've always put me on anxiety medicine, and that would always make you feel relaxed, you know, and you wouldn't have any of that, you know, fear, feeling and all in there. But now, you know, and they're telling me it's all anxiety. The doctors have said it's nothing but anxiety.
Well, anxiety means anger. It means hatred. Anyone that has anger and hatred, you're going to have anxiety. You're going to have fear. Those are the children of anger, of hatred.
Right. And I'm saying if I take medicine, it's going to make me numb to that. It's just going to put me back numb to that, and you're not going to get rid of the anger, right?
Well, again, I can't tell you yes or no on taking your medicine,
you know?
But I do know that when you take stuff like that, it does numb you and it keeps you away from dying from the ego death. Because it feels like everything is fine, but as soon as you come off the pill, you see that you're still miserable.
Right. And that's what I'm saying now is that's what that's what I'm trying to do, and that pain gets so bad from that it really feels like you're dying.
Yeah, the fate you're dying, you think you're dying, but the not you is dying. That phony life you've been living all your life, that illusion that you've been living in, it's dying, but not you.
Yes, okay.
And it's going to be painful, and it's only reasons, two reasons that it's painful. Is the first reason that you think is you because you so identified with it. You've been living with it all your life in the wilderness of your imagination, and you've been calling it you. So it feels like you're dying, and who will I be if I die? Eagerly, from the ego, right? And then the spirits of evil does not want to leave your body, your mind and your body. It has made a home in you. Evil lives in human beings. That's why human beings are so evil. It's worse than the words can express, but they're so evil, and it's working through human beings. And so it doesn't want to leave the human body because it needs a home. And if they leave a human, where will they live? Go into the swines again, the pigs. But they live in human beings. That's why human beings are so evil and nasty to themselves and others.
Yeah, so that's the only. I mean, I'll go to bed and pray about it again like I normally do. But that's the only part I'm at is because doctors tell me it's just anxiety. And I'm thinking, do I really need medicine, or is that just that pain I'm feeling? I'm so afraid that I'm really going to die that I'm identifying with it, and that's what's bringing on the worst pain.
Did the doctor tell you to get off your medicine or keep it?
Well, they had took me off of it before, but he did tell me I had high anxiety. I've had chronic anxiety, crippling anxiety, and I've had it all my life. And I've been on medicine all my life. I'll be on it, and I feel better is that I'm not nervous, but I still don't feel good. I feel better, but not good. And then I'll get off my medicine because they'll say, well, we'll try to take you off, and then they'll take me off. And then I get rid of all the vices of, not going into details, but any vice you have to try to distract yourself from that pain. Once you get away from all that, it's just outrageously, you can feel this burning pain all through your body, like you're just burning on the inside.
But the vices are not your problem. Your problem is that you have anger, you have hatred. Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
Yes, sir. I do it every morning and every night, and it gets even worse when I do that, that pain, because the thoughts go nuts on you.
And what do you do when that is happening?
I just sit there and deal with the pain of it. Yeah, I do. I didn't used to. I would run from it or I wouldn't do it because it scared you even worse. But I sit through it now, and it has days when it gets good, but it has days when it gets anxious, and that, whether it's a person attacking you or coming after you or you're trying to control a situation, that's when the pain inside gets really bad. And like you said, you can feel that anger in you.
And what do you do at that point?
Panic on the inside, but I don't overreact on the outside.
Yeah. Just let it happen. Don't call it you, so you can stop identifying with evil, and the light will destroy the darkness. Those spirits will be taken away from you. But I'm not telling you what to do with your medicine. That's between you and your doctor. But I do know if you are working on overcoming the false self, you got to endure it until the end. Don't say it's too hard. Don't ask how long this is going to last. Don't complain about it. Don't cry. If crying comes, let it pass. But you got to let it be taken away from you. God is trying to save you from all of that.
Now, this last question is, even if you forgive and you can see all that stuff, you'll still have that anger feeling come up in you sometimes?
If you believe thoughts, absolutely.
But you're only getting the anger feeling because you believe your thoughts are telling you the truth.
100%.
Okay, that makes total sense then. Okay.
100%.
Okay. I can see that I'm trying to continuously control certain things, and that's where the pain's coming from.
You can't control anything. There's not one human being on earth that can control themselves or anyone else. There's not one human being on earth that can change themselves or anyone else. You got to completely surrender all of your anxieties, all of your worries, all of your loneliness, all of your suicidal thought, all of your lack of love, your false need for love. Everything you got to surrender and let the Father destroy it.
Yes, sir. Will do. I appreciate it.
Amazing. You stay with it.
I'm going to stay with it. I am. I haven't given up, and I haven't ran to medicine or anything, and I have went to the doctor to get things checked out just to reassure me that I didn't have a major problem. But they've told me the same thing. It's all anxiety, and I can feel as soon as I get anxious was when all those problems come on, all the pain and all.
Right. Amazing, huh?
So I know it's not anything but hatred and evil inside of me.
Well, finally make up your mind to let go and let the light destroy the darkness. It's spiritual.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I wish you well, Greg.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your help, Jesse.
You're welcome, buddy. 888-775-3773. Joseph out of Florida. Joseph, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, it's great talking to you. How are you today?
All is well, Joseph.
Before I ask my questions, I want to thank you personally and Bon. I think you guys are doing a great service in this life, and you guys have made a real positive impact on my life. So just want to say that to you here at the very beginning.
You're welcome.
So I had two questions for you, sir. The last time that we talked was about a month ago, and I was telling you about how I got angry with my father, and me and him kind of had a falling out. One of the things that you had mentioned to me is that I didn't know what love was. And I'm not trying to make any excuses or anything for myself, but I did grow up in a pretty abusive background. And I really thought about what you said. And, you know, if I'm being honest, I don't know what love is. And so I wanted to ask you, how does a person get to know what love is if they don't know it and they really haven't experienced it?
When they stop hating, when you no longer have hatred in your heart, you will know what love is. You will live in love. You will be of love. You will walk with love. You will be of love, and nothing can touch you.
I see that. You know, I thought I was doing really good with my anger. My next question for you was, I had a situation with a coworker, and I thought I was doing really good with my anger, but me and him kind of got into it, and I want to kind of give you some background and just ask you your opinion about it. I really want to be done with anger completely, and that's why I'm calling you. I have a military background. I was in the Marine Corps for a while, and without giving away the details of my job, I work as a contractor with the Air Force at a particular base. I was walking into work one day, and I saw this airman out of uniform. And I really wasn't trying to start anything with this individual. I just pointed out that they weren't wearing their uniform properly. And this guy copped this attitude with me and everything, and he was in the wrong for doing that. But when he did that, I'm just not going to lie to you. I got mad at him, chewed him out. Later on, he came by my desk to try to apologize to me, but I was, so much in Marine mode or whatever that I chewed him out so much that I didn't even hear this guy's apology. A coworker of mine pointed that out, and that's when I realized, I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't have anger whipped like I thought I did. And so I thought I would just call into your show and get your opinion, get your advice, and just ask you what do you think I need to do and work on to really get rid of this, because I don't want to do that anymore, man. I really want to handle things in a calmer and better way. But I am that guy who does not know what love is. And in some ways I don't know how to handle situations like that. I guess at the time I thought that I was in the right because I was a Marine. I'm going to tell you, and this is the right way of doing it. And then, hindsight being 20/20, you realize that maybe there was a better way.
The next time someone treats you that way, let it happen and do not argue back. Don't fight with them or anything. You say to the Marine, hey, you're not dressed properly. And they go, you can't tell me what to do, and blah, blah, blah. Then you drop it. Don't argue with them at all. And feel the pain of not arguing. Feel the embarrassment of not arguing. Feel the pain of thinking that someone is taking advantage of you. Feel the pain of thinking that you're weak, because it's all lies, it's all ego, and when you can endure that ego pain, you shall be forever and ever be free of anger, because it's just all ego. When those things happening, it's not happening to you, it's happening to not you, your ego. You just think it's happening to you because the thought would tell you, oh, you're weak. You're not saying anything. You're not fighting back. You're weak. You're letting these people say whatever they want to you. You're weak. You're the captain and they're the ship, whatever they tell you. And then it tell you, fight back. And then two devils fighting, and there's no love with either one. So let yourself feel the pain of the attack of the ego. No matter how it looks, it's not real.
And everything you said right there is spot on, because that is the truth. Like I was like thinking in my head, man, this guy's in the wrong and he wants the cop attitude. I'm going to show you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that type of thing.
Those evil spirits speaking to you in that very moment, and they made you act out, and then they laughed at you. And then when the guy came over to apologize, they told you, no, don't accept his apology. Look what he said to you. Look how he treated you. Do not accept his apology, and you would not accept it, and they laughed at you again.
That's absolutely true. So I guess where I get hung up on, my man, is, and I'm not trying to use the Bible to justify anger. I really like you pointing out how you shouldn't do that. I really like that call where you said that. I think that was very wise. But there is a scripture in the Bible where Jesus talks about, he overthrew the tables in the temple when the people weren't honoring God, right?
Yes.
And I guess in my mind, I feel like, well, if people are doing things wrong and they got a bad attitude, I need to turn over some tables. And, I understand that I'm not God. I'm not Jesus. And I guess that's like the justification that I use that brings the anger back. And so how do you deal with people who try to antagonize you and stuff? Because I've watched some of your videos. You've had some mean callers, and you've handled them pretty well. And I want to get to that level. And I'm not there yet, but I am trying.
Number one, and a friend of mine told me a long time ago, he is Armenian, and he said that in the Bible when it says be angry but sin not, it means to tremble but not sin. And so when people are attacking your ego and you want to fight back, don't fight back. Tremble in fear or false desire and want to fight back, but don't hate. Do not hate and you'll be free. And secondly, you will be able to deal with all people, and especially evil people, when you overcome anger, because you're going to understand what's happening through you. It will cause you to understand what's happening through others, because every human being has the same problem as you. It's just that some people are working on it and others are not. They're driven by evil. They're driven by their thoughts.
Gotcha. Jesse, I'm going to let you go. Man, thank you so much for the advice. I'm going to meditate on it. I wish you and Vaughn the absolute best.
Thank you. Doing the silent prayer?
Yes, sir. Morning and night.
Stay with us. And practice during the day. Be present. But let whatever happened to the ego happens, all right?
Okay, I'll do that. So,
Hold on, buddy. Hold on. Don't hang up. Hold on. Quick break. Back in a moment.
I'm 32 years old now, and I've been clinically depressed since I was 17 years old, And ever since I started listening to you a couple of months ago, bro, I don't even need to hear the word depression. I don't even care about that because that's not anything that I identify with anymore.
Nice.
I'm 100% cured. I'm 100% better because I've been listening to the Jesse Lee Peterson show. And I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate you. And I just can't even, begin to tell you how much I really appreciate the things that you're doing for young men. Young men need to hear this, and young men need to know this message that you're delivering because it's important. It's vital to their lives, Jesse. I just wanted to let you know that, man.
That's amazing. I mean, you made my day, man. When I hear one soul has returned to the Father, it's like 1,000. It's better than silver and gold. So God bless you, man. Okay, quick announcement. The Hake report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. The Hake, the guy with the good hair, he ain't got that good hair for nothing. And he had a guest host today. Big Bump is back. Big Bump will be guest hosting with the Hake report guy today at 9 a.m. And Big Bump is one of the smartest black men on this side of heaven. He get information that I don't know where he get it from, but he knows what's going on. You don't want to miss it. From 9 to 11. And then at 11, Joel Friday TV. He black and smart. Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. And then the American Anchor Baby. Energy, not even on loan, but given to him by God. And believe me, he uses it all. It's not a waste of energy. God, like, right on, son. At 12 noon Pacific time, the American Anchor Baby. He's over there on Punching TV and yoga.
Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby.
Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby and Punching TV. And last but not least, brand new episode of Punching TV today at 2 p.m. Watch this.
We're back with part 2.
Bring down the hellfire.
We only saw him reading scripture. So and right now we're nipped. You have to read the word in order to understand it.
You don't. Not the Bible.
The Spirit gives you common sense. So the Word of God is much more than just the Bible.
Because you are the Bible.
Honestly, I believe that's a dangerous way of thinking right there.
Is there a single example of Jesus being somewhere where he was not wanted?
That's what I'm saying.
Everywhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Tell me one.
He was almost never wanted anywhere he
No.
went. If I'm preaching and somebody's coming after me to murder me, I can infer that I'm not welcome.
So they won't answer the question.
people.
Okay.
You don't want to miss that at 2 p.m. Pacific time. All right? Amazing. Let me go quickly back to Joseph out of Florida. And Joseph want to understand this anger thing, how to overcome that. Joseph, you were about to ask another question, then I had to go to break.
Yes, sir. I was just thinking about what you were saying. And, I guess, maybe I thought, my challenge was to confront other people and destroy the evil in them and make everything right. But just kind of thinking about what you said, maybe my real challenge is seeing the evil in the world and not being moved by it and not being affected by it and being still. And so I think if I understand what you're saying, instead of trying to challenge the world, challenge myself to be still.
Absolutely. Overcome the hell in you And then you'll be able to overcome the hell in others. You will not be affected by it. But the real hell is in you that's causing you to overreact, causing you to judge, causing you to have fear and anger and all that. It's inside of you. It's not outside of you. It's in your mind and your body. But you think it's happening from the outside when it's really happening on the inside.
And so the way to get rid of that is just to forgive and just watch it and just do nothing about it. Try that silent prayer and be present.
100%. Do nothing about it. When the ego is attacked, let it be attacked so that you can know it's not you and you'll overcome it. Stop identifying with it. In Psalms 4:4, Joseph, it says, stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still. Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still. So when these things are happening, Joseph, you got to be still and let them happen. And God is trying to save you from the darkness of your imagination, which are and your emotions, which are all evil. Emotions are evil as well, the so-called good ones and the bad ones. And He's trying to save you from that. But every time someone attacks you, you feel the pain, the thoughts of the pain, you think it's happening to you, and you're giving life to evil.
And I see that, and yeah, everything you said is right. So I guess, and I don't want to take up all your time, but so I'm going to feel this stuff no matter what, right? That's not going away, but I don't have to act on it.
Right
and
on.
The way that I don't act on it is just to be present. And as you say, it's like, okay, those are the feelings. There's that anger. There's that ego. There's that. I'm not doing anything. And that's that whole being present and sort of what you said there in Psalms, being still.
I promise you, and I'm not making it up. I'm not God, so I can't make it. But I promise you, if you be still and let what needs to happen to the ego, let it happen. And the devil going to be fast speaking, fast talking to you. Oh, they're making a fool out of you. They're taking advantage of you. They're making you look silly. They're not respecting your rank. It is trying to get reaction from you so it can stay alive. The real power is in being still and not overreacting. It's a weakness to overreact.
It is. That's very wise advice.
And it's happening inside of you. The devil makes you think that somebody else is making you feel that way. Somebody else is doing this to you. It told you that guy is doing it to you. He's making you feel this way. He is disrespecting you. That's a lie. It's all happening in your imagination. It's not happening outside. It's happening on the inside. That doesn't mean people on the outside won't try to hurt you, but if you didn't have the ego on the inside, they cannot hurt you on the outside. Everybody has the same problem, that you have. It's just that most people are not working on themselves. You are.
I appreciate you saying that. I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to re-listen to this a few times. And the next time that somebody does something like that, I'm going to really try hard not to overreact. And as you say, they're not doing it in me. That's the hell in them. And I don't have to let the hell in them turn into hell in myself.
Stop arguing with the devil.
Yes, sir. I'll do that. Hey, man, thank you for taking my call. Thank you for all that you do. God bless you. I wish you guys a great day today.
Thank you. And don't argue with the devil in your mind or outside of you, inside of others. That's what the devil wants. Do not argue with people, period. You can speak up for yourself if you need to, but don't argue.
Okay. I'll do that. Thank you so much, Jesse.
You're welcome, buddy.
Have a great day, sir.
Okay. 888-775-3773. Super chat. Super.
Anthony on Friday gave a Cash App saying for Love Boat. Love, exciting and new. Good show.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank
That
you
was
for
on
your
Valentine's Day.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you, Anthony.
James, another version of be still is tremble and do not sin, meaning don't get angry. Tremble, do not sin. Meditate in your heart upon your bed and be still. The New American Standard Bible. That's deep.
Yeah, Psalm 4:4.
Amazing. Thank you.
Shout out Jesus, thank you, as always, over there on Cash App, Bond JLP Cash App. Someone bought 3 coffees. Jesse, your wisdom and observations are utilized by myself and others as tools to help us wake up. Thank you. Reminds me of the song Use Me by Bill Withers.
You gotta keep on using me until you use me up.
Great track. I almost said great track. Great song. I want to spread the news that if it feels this good getting used, just keep on using me.
I want to spread the news. If it feels this good being used, keep on using me until you use me up. Amazing. Thank you.
Very nice. Someone. Wendy says, I agree with her, meaning that gal, Lisa Bloom, on the Fallen State. This is from the Fallen State.
Oh,
this is Lay Wendy on, Lay on Rumble. Yeah, we premiered the Lisa Bloom episode. I agree with her that young girls can play sports with young boys. I would say before 8th grade. I say this because I was on the boys' football team 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, and I kicked butt. I wanted to practice 8th grade, and the boys got so big over the summer, they kicked my butt after that. Laughing face sideways.
And do you also believe that boys should be on girls' sport at that age? Does she believe that too?
I don't know. I think she just thinks that it doesn't matter in the 5th, 6th, and 7th grade.
So whether the boys play with the girl team and the girl play with the boys team at that age?
Yeah.
That what she's saying?
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. Appreciate
Thank you, Lay. Billy on IG during church. Jesse, does God love LGBTQ? Does he show any difference in anybody?
Nope. Not one iota of a difference. And he loved all. He came, he sent his only son for all who would accept it. It doesn't care if you're a drag queen, LGBTQ, drug addict, rapist, murderer, robber, cheater, liar, thief, lowlife, hood rat, trailer trash, top of the mountain, below the mountain, white, black, blue, yellow, whatever color you come. He came for all who will accept. Isn't that amazing? But human being judges playing God. What a mess. Thank you. Amazing question.
G. Fontes 119 gifted 1 subscription to Jesse Lee Peterson over on Rumble. Thank you.
You got to know how to rumble. Thank you.
M. Fans gifted 5 subscriptions to JLP yesterday during church on Rumble. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you.
Anthony with another Cash App. The European Welfare Union of the USA. Money, 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 money.
Money.
Danny bought a coffee.
Thank you.
Thanks as always, Anthony.
Yeah.
Danny says, all right, Jesse and the lads. Jesse, if you keep upsetting these females like that, I suggest you walk the streets with James in front, Anchor Baby behind, Joelle one side, and Omid the other side for your safety.
Why?
Because you're going to need a bodyguard. These females get crazy.
If she's crying, she's lying. Amazing. Thank you.
Isaiah, the Uber driver, 17 coffees, very generous. I used to like church a little bit, but now I love church.
I love church. Bond fellowship service.
Oh, yeah.
Church service.
Also, Jesus didn't identify with anything. He let the people say what he was, except when they try to make him their king. He walked off, just like you said.
I rest my case. You don't need a king. You don't need a hero. You don't need to stop identifying with that stuff. Ain't nobody any better than you, no matter what they do. The people who are taking the what kind of drug they take, and they think they see God.
Ayahuasca.
The ayahuasca drug, you ain't seeing God, you're hallucinating. And in your mind, Satan's telling you you're seeing God. When you're gone off the ayahuasca stuff, you still have misery. You have no perfect peace. That ain't the way back to the Father. What the? Drop your anger. Amazing. Thank you.
Games for Rec on D Live talking about your Washington's birthday shirt.
Right.
That's Lincoln, Jesse.
What?
That's Lincoln.
What about him?
Not Washington.
All white people look the same, buddy.
Nikki.
White is white is white. Making America white again.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Nikki bought a coffee. I have a master.
God.
He passed away the year I was born in 97. I call him master because he and my inner teacher are one. The title master doesn't always hold the same meaning that others might assume.
Amazing. When my master say he sick, I say, yes, master, we sick.
I'm trying to think who died in 97. Tupac, maybe? Biggie? I don't know.
Do you know this person or something? Why would you know their master?
Who knows? Maybe it's not a famous master. Thank you, Nikki. Sorry.
Thank you, Nikki.
The particle board son bought a coffee. You try. Oh, this is an answer to the biblical question.
The brand new one?
I believe so, yes.
How do you trust God?
You trust God by being like the crow with no thought of your next meal.
Amazing. Thank you. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. Amazing.
Pastor Chatelet gifted 5 subscriptions on Jason Lee Peterson Rumble.
Amazing. Thank you, Pastor.
You
got to know how to rumble.
On Cash App, Anthony, let his will be done through you, not your own, equals trust. That sounds like it might be a reference to the biblical question.
Okay. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you.
Blake says Lisa Bloom ran away from Jesse on the Fallen State like 90 going north.
Lisa is on the run. If you see Lisa running down the road, ask us why did she run from the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, thefallenstate.tv. What the? Check it out. It was from last Friday, thefallenstate.tv.
The particle board son, another coffee, talked to my mom. She tried to overstep. I asked her about it.
Ask.
She had an episode, told her bye and blocked her. God is good.
Right on. Don't hate her, but move on with your life. Nice.
John, 5 coffees, and Moses made a serpent of brass and put it on a pole. And as it came by, if any man beheld the serpent, and if they were bitten by a snake, he was Alpha again.
Amazing. Thank you.
That's roughly how it went. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Pastor Chatelet on a Rumble answering the biblical question.
How do you trust God?
I trust God because his will be done means his will be done. I'm okay with whatever my king decides, whether good or bad, life or death, feast or famine. How can you trust God and be tick? He says.
Thank you. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Amazing.
Canadian David says, Paul Newman, Aunt Jemima, and Uncle Ben ain't got nothing on Punchy's coffee. Amazing.
Punchy coffee is good. Have you gotten your Punchy coffee yet? Go to rebuildingtheman.com/stores. PUNCHIE. Possibly S. Coffee. Good.
Are you saying apostrophe S?
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay.
What does it sound like I'm saying?
It always sounds like you're saying and possibly S.
You black. It's better than saying Arkansas.
I don't know.
It's not the same, huh? Or worse. Apostrophe.
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 There you go.
Apostrophe.
Yeah.
Thank you, white man.
You're welcome. Commander Kim with the Rumble.
Blue-eyed devil.
Say again?
Blue-eyed devil.
You're blue-eyed. I'm not. Fallen State.
Black-eyed devil.
Never forget moms, feminists, communists first ruined all the spaces for men. Men's clubs, men's sports, men's colleges, Boy Scouts. They inserted women into places they did not belong.
You sure did. What a mess, huh? Amazing. Thank you. I got to stop there.
We'll read the rest later, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. Amazing. Let me go to Scotland and talk to Andrew. Heard around the world. Andrew, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Andrew?
Hello.
Hey, Andrew.
How are you?
All is well, sir.
Nice. Right. It's the afternoon in Scotland, so it's not the morning, so good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon to you.
Thank you. This one, again, I phoned you on Friday there. It was about dogs. It wasn't a very serious conversation, to be honest. I'm not that interested in dogs. But this one I really am interested in, right?
Okay.
And I've seen you on multiple times say that there's no such thing as friends.
Right.
Right. And if I say to you, candidly and earnestly, that Jesse Lee Peterson, you are my friend, do you consider me a liar?
I wouldn't consider you a liar or the truth. I would just hear it, but put no meaning to it.
Right. So you put no meaning to me saying to you that you're my friend.
Right.
Why?
Because it's just a word. It has no meaning.
No, it's not. No,
because
no,
if I had chat, let me just say this. Hold on. Hold on. If I attach meaning to it, now it's gonna feel like ownership, and then when I attach ownership to it, then there's gonna be requirements. You got to act a certain way. You got to be a certain way. You got to do this and do that. And if you don't, then the friendship is over. But if I just let it pass through and put no meaning to it, if you're around being a friend, fine. If you're not being a friend, fine, because there's no ownership. It's like when men and women get married, immediately there's an ownership, and they both try to control one another.
Jesse, I'm not going to allow you to relate this to marriage, because friendships are not marriages.
Right, but
all the friendships, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
All the friendships that I've had, it's come to the point where one of us have done wrong in a situation. They've had to apologize. The other person has accepted the apology, and that has created the friendship. So these friendships are born to last, and it usually comes when one person does something wrong to the other person and has to apologize. And do you not believe that that is a friendship?
Why do you need a friend?
This is not a discussion whether you need a friend or not. This is a discussion of whether friends exist.
No, it doesn't. It's a made-up idea, but it doesn't exist. That's why it doesn't last. And then you have to work at it. When you have a so-called friend,
no, I'm not.
You have to work at it. You got to be a friend.
No. Do you have to work on your relationship with Roseanne?
With Roseanne?
Yes.
No, because I don't work on relationship with anything. I mean, I don't work on relationship with anybody or anything. And yet, Roseanne and I are naturally friends.
There we go. So whether
but
you
I don't think of it. I don't
have,
think of it as that. I'll use that word to communicate, but I'm not thinking of that. So if she's around, fine. If she's around, fine. If she doesn't, fine.
Am I saying to you, Jesse, am I saying to you that friends need to be around each other all the time?
They don't need to be around anytime.
But listen to what I'm saying.
Can you hold?
Am I saying that they need to be around?
Can you hold for me? Hold on.
Of course.
Okay, I got to take a break, all right? Back in a moment. Hate news, not the fake news. And I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy. They're miserable. They have rough lives. They're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand. I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
Bibi, as in based Bibi Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, wants to finish the job on Iran's axis. Don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. With Trump's help. Is he going to do a strike on their nuclear stuff? That's what the intelligence agencies are warning Biden and Trump. We're warning Biden and Trump administrations. I don't know. And bird flu. A bird flu vaccine for chickens? Oh, no. Are you going to eat the vaccinated chicken? I don't know. And a 50% chance of Alaska's Mount Spurr, Spurr, I think, erupting. No local towns in danger, by the way. No local towns around. And an 88-year-old Pope Francis is recovering from bronchitis, thanking his doctors. He's had a string of health issues. This is the end of hour 2 already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, Female Monday. Everybody loves Mondays. February 17th, 2025 AD. Hang tight, callers. JLP will be right back to your calls for the third and final hour of today's JLP Show. By the way, Women's Forum is this week, I do believe. Third Thursday of the month, February 20th, AD 2025, 7 p.m. at Bond in Los Angeles. You can go to rebuildingtheman.com/events. By the way, I was telling you about the rough weather up in the Great Lakes and elsewhere. Meteorologists said around 10 million people under winter storm warnings from upstate New York ahead to all the way to New England, wherever that is, ahead of an incoming Arctic blast that could break record temperatures this week, as in cold. Anyway, Middle East tensions. Israelis based Prime Minister Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu, I know you guys are haters, vowed Sunday to finish the job against Iran, with the support of our greatest president, Donald J. Trump. And we're wishing Iran well. Over the last 16 months, Israel has dealt a mighty blow to Iran's terror axis. And when he's talking about that, I think he means Hezbollah, Hamas, and maybe some others. Under the strong leadership of President Trump, I have no doubt that we can and will finish the job, Netanyahu said with his deep voice. He spoke alongside Secretary of State Little Marco Rubio. Shout out. He's no longer Little Marco, right? Is it disrespectful I call him Little Marco? Disrespectful Hake, who has been visiting Israel on his first official trip to the region since assuming the role of Secretary of State. Better than Hillary Clinton, I think. U.S. intelligence agencies recently warned both the Biden and Trump administrations Israel will likely attempt to strike facilities key to Iran's nuclear program this year. U.S. intelligence also cautions that such strikes could increase the risk of a wider war breaking out across the Middle East. Can't have that. Or we can, but we don't want that. I don't think. And the bird flu, the USDA has issued a conditional license. USDA, I forget what it is, Department of Agriculture. Conditional license for a bird flu vaccine to use in chickens amid an outbreak that's ravaging poultry flocks, contributing to the high price of eggs. You know, eggs, they're all expensive right now, they say. Historically, this type of vaccine has been thought to carry a number of complications, including making it difficult to detect the virus in inoculated birds and trade concerns. But the strategy may be shifting as bird flu spreads to other types of animals, such as like cows, cattle, and it becomes more difficult to contain. Which would you rather have, vaccines or the bird flu? I don't know. Maybe neither if possible. Over the last 30 days, at least 145 flocks been confirmed to have avian flu, affecting more than 20 million birds. More than 150 million birds been affected since the current outbreak began in 2022. What a mess. Also a mess, SNL, Saturday Night Live, had their 50th anniversary special on Saturday. Blah, 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 blah. So watch out for Alaska's Mount Spurr. It may erupt. That's cool, sort of. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
got to stand up strong. Think the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. I was distracted. We also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773. 888-77-JESSE. And my brand new biblical question for the week, a doozy. And it's for those who want to overcome their misery. They want to overcome their hell. It's a doozy. How do you trust God? I hear all the time, oh, I trust God. How do you trust God? How do you trust Him? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. And if you're running around anywhere in this world, you could be listening. You could podcast all the shows, but you could be listening on your iPhone or iPad, no matter what you're doing, by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk and Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Monday. It is already the third hour of the show on Monday. And as always, every Monday is Female Monday. All my life, I had to fight.
I like to make men uncomfortable.
All my life I had to fight.
Let women take over.
Some of us believe that women are getting paid less than men.
I proudly say I'm a feminist. Thank you.
Deep in their soul, they want to be home with those babies. We've been lied to for so long.
Believe we shall overcome someday. 888-77-53773. Let me go back to Scotland and talk to Andrew. And Andrew was discussing a friend about friendship. Andrew.
Hello.
Hey, Andrew. Why do you need to call it friend?
I'm not sure, and that's one of the reasons for calling you. I'm not sure why you need to call it friend.
Right.
But what I do know is one of my favourite songs is a song called "What a Friend We Have in Jesus."
What a friend we have in Jesus.
What a friend, all the sins unto unbear. You know the song.
All because he...
Because we do not carry everything to God in prayer.
Amazing.
You know what I mean?
Nice, Andrew. You got a nice voice.
Oh, no, hey, when I'm on form, I can actually sing, you know what I mean? But I'm never on form when I'm off work. So
Nice.
I'm trying to create a little band here as well. But what I'm saying about the friendship thing is, I know that you're sort of right about this, right? But the word saying that you don't have friends is kind of disturbing to me, because I look at it now from the opposite side, whereas I look at it, everybody as my friend, and you're one of them. So,
but why not just look at everybody just as people and not put a title of friendship onto it and treat everyone the way you like to be treated? What Andrew dropped. He was in Scotland. He was on hold. We had talked for a while. Maybe the disconnection happened. Yeah, call back, Andrew, if you can. 888-7753-773. First time caller, Riley, out of Ohio. Riley, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Jesse, 30 seconds. Could I have it?
I'm sorry?
I said 30 seconds. Could I have it?
What does that mean?
Well, could I have 30 seconds of your time?
No, go ahead.
Shoot. What do dreams mean?
Nothing.
Are they from God?
It means that you're unconscious.
And when you're asleep?
You're still unconscious.
That makes sense. Okay. All right. That's all I needed.
All right, buddy. Amazing. 888-77 Jesse. Okay, Andrew called right back. Let me see. Okay, Andrew, thanks for calling back. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I can't apologize. Skype let me down there, I'm afraid.
What happened?
Skype let me down. You know, I'm calling you
Skype.
through Skype.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So what we were trying to establish there, it seemed like to me anyway, is that we are talking about friendship with different words or something like that.
You know what it is, Andrew? We have been taught wrong by our parents, our teachers, our preachers, and the world. They have set us up. They said, have morality, love everybody, do this, get married, buy a house, do this and do that, and get a certain type of education, get a certain type of job, and make a certain amount of money, have a certain type of friends. And we've been trying to live up to something that is impossible to live up. But if you had no meaning to life and no ideas and no thoughts, you will have a perfect life.
Well, I mean, I don't know what a perfect life is.
Right.
But at the same time.
But you will know if you drop all your ideas.
Jesse, hang on. Jesse, please, let me talk, please. But if you believe in the disciple called St. Andrew, who came to Scotland not in his own physical body, but he came through with the bones, and nobody wanted his bones in Scotland, and that made Scottish people peaceful for a while, would that not mean that we've all got a friend in Jesus, even through the disciples?
I don't understand that question.
Okay, well...
You said something about somebody at Bones, and Bone brought peace, and would that make everybody a friend of Jesus, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand that question.
Right, well, I'll try and say it again to you. Even the bones of the disciples that were taken around the world to spread Christianity seem to have spread the friendship between the human being and Jesus all around the world. Jesus Christ never walked in Scotland. He was miles away from us.
But if you notice that there is no such thing as friendship in Christians.
Yeah, I've recognized that, yes.
So it didn't work. The bone thing did not work.
No, it did work.
No, Christians are not friendly people. They're not friends.
No, I agree that Christians aren't friendly people. I totally agree with you. They're not. They're the most catty people I've ever met.
Yeah.
I was brought up in the Protestant faith, and they're catty people. They're catty. They're always trying to get back at each other.
Yeah.
I know that. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Christianity coming to Scotland and changing Scotland from barbaric mindset people to peaceful people. Even though they don't understand how to actually attain peace, they do crave peace at least, and that comes from Jesus Christ.
But they have no peace in Scotland and America and nowhere because there is no peace between the Christians.
I know. I agree. That's one of the reasons I'm calling you up is to see if you can help me solve my own country.
You solve your own country by becoming the light of the world, and you become the light of the world when you lose all ideas and all identities, and you will become the light of the world. But as long as you have an idea or identities, friends, and all that kind of stuff, you will only be the darkness of the world and not the light. You got to drop all your identities.
Okay, right. And I can see that there's wisdom in what you're saying, but I still believe that I win this conversation, right? And I'm not trying to be like pedantic or anything like that.
Right.
But I think I win this conversation because when you're talking about not having friends, I think that what you are, obviously you can speak for yourself. You're a very clever man. You can speak for yourself. But I think what you mean is once you drop your identities, everybody's your friend. So it goes from everybody being your enemy to everybody being your friend, even the people that hate you.
What will happen if...
truth in that?
You may be onto something. You may be. I know that once you drop all identity, you love all. You even your enemy, you love. But what would happen if you never used the word friend or never thought of the word friend again? What would happen?
I've no idea because I've always used the word friend.
Give it a try. Idea. Stop using the word again and see what happens.
Okay then, I accept your challenge, and then I put a challenge back towards you, which is drop the word love then.
Right. Nice idea.
So I'll drop the word friend if you drop the word love.
Okay.
What do you think of that? Is that a deal?
That's an idea. Except when I talk about God, I talk about love. I got to communicate the word love. I'm doing a show every day, man. So, but I don't think of love. I don't think of love at all.
So as soon as I try and make a deal with Jesse Lee Peterson, the first thing he does is he puts a caveat in.
What?
The first thing I do when I try and make a deal with Jesse Lee Peterson is he puts a caveat in.
Meaning that...
So you asked me to drop the word friendship, and I says, okay, I will, because obviously I don't understand the word. And I says, well, if I do that, will you drop the word love?
I can't drop the love. I can't drop the love word.
Exactly.
I can't drop the word love because I'm doing a show and I'm talking to people. But you can drop you and I can drop the word friendship because it's a fake, phony word with no meaning.
Well, so is love. Then I declare love is the same kind of word.
Do you believe that God loves you?
Yes.
How are you going to drop that word?
Do you believe that Jesus is your friend?
Yes.
There you go.
But human beings are not friends. But you know what, Andrew, I got to run. I got to run because of time, but call me again. Amazing conversation.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jesse. I got as far as I could with this one today, and thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
I love you, and thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
All right, buddy. Call me again, all right?
I will. Goodbye, friend.
Goodbye. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Jason out of Buffalo, New York. Jason, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, man?
All is well, Jason.
Hey, last time I talked to you, you said I hate God. Isn't that judging? So wouldn't that make Satan your father?
No, I'm not judging you. I don't hate you. I'm not angry at you. No, I don't hate you.
No, you said I hate God. You were saying that about me. You was making that inference about me.
But you asked it, I don't remember the conversation, but you're asking me, was I judging you when I said you hate God?
You was judging me. That is not if you was.
So you already know that I was?
Yeah, so I mean,
So
isn't
if you
that
know
makes
that
like
I
say,
was,
hold on.
why did you
Look.
ask me if I was judging you?
That's not that because that's not what that wasn't what my question was. My question, doesn't that make Satan your father? And does like how does that not? If you judge like judging is like a sin, right? It's
Jason.
Go ahead.
When did I say you hate God? Why did I say you hated God?
Because I was telling you everything that's wrong with like with the Bible and like his viewpoints and stuff like that. Like I can't remember like the same thing. What was that? Well, we were talking about Job last week. Your biblical question, and I was talking you about Job, and I was telling you how like what he did to Job was wrong. Like you said, like Job got all the but like why would he have to punish somebody just to do that? And then why would he do that in front of Satan? Why would he show Satan that? And then when you answer your biblical question,
Jason,
wait.
You only want to. You think that in your mind you think you're a good debater, and so you said you love debating and you're a good debater, but you're not. And you call up talking about God and all this stuff when you don't care about that, you don't believe it exists, it has no meaning. Why don't you find something else to debate about that makes sense? Because your debating doesn't make sense. I can't debate with someone who have already made up their mind about everything, and they just want to do it because in their own mind they think that they're a good debater. You're not a good debater at all.
I'm not a good debater. Name one point that you corrected me on, that you stopped me, that I had that change of viewpoint on.
Thank you,
name
Jason.
Name something that you defeated me on.
I've never tried to defeat you on anything, and because
because
you think that you're a good debater, you think we're having a real debate.
I'm a good debate.
You think that you're a good debater and blah blah blah. You think you're a good debater and you think we're having a debate and we're not. And
you
so
didn't want to claim for it to be. Hold on.
You think that you think that.
You keep telling me what
hold
I think.
on, man.
You keep telling me what I think.
You think
that
you
go ahead.
You think you're winning the debate that's not even happening.
But it's not a debate. I just asked you a question.
But the question
is no
silly.
debate. Huh? That was the question though. Like,
but the question is silly.
The question is what?
Silly.
How is that a silly question?
Because it makes no sense.
Okay, hold on. Are you saying that makes no sense?
Jason,
Clearly,
I gotta run, buddy. Let me go to Derek out of Nashville. Derek, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Jesse, good morning.
Hey, Derek. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for church yesterday.
It was amazing. Check out Yesterday Fellowship, folks. rebuildingtheman.com/church. rebuildingtheman.com/church. It was amazing. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you. And with all the talk of the psychedelics and the drugs, and I used to do those all the time. Anytime anything would go wrong, I would go to something like that, or girls, or this and that, and then I would run out and tell everyone I saw God, and like, you should try it. And just so you know, it's not God. You're just high.
So
sure.
you used to do the Kush. What is it called, Nick?
Ayahuasca.
So you used to do the ayahuasca thing?
Oh yeah, and you just wake up in the morning in your pajamas rolling around on the floor. Yep.
And so you would do the ayahuasca thing, and you would get high, and you would feel like you're having an experience with God.
You're having an experience, yep, and that's what I thought it was.
And what does the experience feel like?
You're just high. Honestly, it's hard to describe. Like, kind of bright. I don't know. I did. You were talking about LSD, like at church. I did that. I've done all of it.
But I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand the ayahuasca thing, and you were saying that you did the ayahuasca thing, and that when you were doing it, you felt like you knew God, or you had an experience with God.
At the time, I did.
And what did that feel like?
Well, apparently the best experience is it will simulate dying, and I went through that process with the drug, and I was like, oh well, I saw God now, and I kept doing it over and over again. And I kept, and I'd share it with some girl and do it over and over and over again. And then when I was crashing, to that gentleman's point earlier, I would take those anxiety pills to make me feel better as I was coming down, which at best will send you to the hospital. At worst will send you to an early grave.
But just for my understanding, because I really don't understand, I'm trying. So, like, you used to be a part of a ayahuasca group or something?
No,
you had
I just got it from
a master.
No, I had a drug dealer, and I just did it by myself.
But did you have? Cause it sounds like people. It's ayahuasca is headed up by somebody, right?
Yeah, the ayahuasca stuff I heard, you don't just get it from a drug. Like, I just don't know. It seems like you have a one of those teachers, shamans or whatever, that guide you through
Did
that
you
stuff.
have a teacher there?
No, the active ingredient in it you can get in, like a little vape that you get at the store or something. It's different, but I didn't drink it. I consumed it in a different way.
And did you have a teacher?
No, it was just me by myself getting high.
And so, but you were not part of the ayahuasca movement, right?
No.
I thought you were. So you wasn't getting high like they do and believe that they have an experience with God. Am I right about that?
At the time I thought I did.
And did you think that because you were associated with the ayahuasca people?
I think it was just the kind of colorful things that you see when you're high, and you're like, oh, I think I saw God. And
but yours wasn't like a religious thing in the way that I've been told others have done it, right?
Oh no, I was just escaping.
You were just doing drugs.
Yep. I was just doing drugs.
Okay, well, I wanted to understand. I wanted to talk to the people who was a part of the movement, and the ayahuasca people told them that they could take these drugs or some type of like a juice or something, and these people believed that they had experienced God. That's what it was about yesterday. It wasn't just about a regular drug addict or someone that's using drugs. But so you don't know what that experience is all about because you wasn't doing it with the intent to know God.
I was doing it to kind of escape what was going on in my life. But when you do it, it's the same active ingredient the way I did it, and it made me think that I was like, I don't know what happens in your brain, but it makes you think that you're connected to something higher, but you're not. You're just high.
Oh, so you took what the people of the movement take. You just wasn't a part of the movement.
Right, exactly.
So you took some ayahuasca juice.
I smoked it, but it was the same ingredient, but you're just high. That's all it is.
Oh, okay. So you don't really know what they felt because your intention wasn't the same, right?
I don't know what they felt.
Oh, okay. That's why I wanted to talk to them because I would know what they thought and what they felt. And there was a young lady yesterday who done it. She was sounded like she was a part of the movement, and she did it for that reason. She thought that she was having a real experience with God.
Yep. Yeah, and I remember her, and I know a lot of people that would do that, but still, it's kind of at the end of the day, it's like, oh, I'm going to take this thing, and it's going to make me feel better, or I'm going to find something. And what I wanted to tell you is that what I find remarkable is that, and it's not like I was doing this last week. I'm like, I'm going on about a year and a half now, hanging around here. If you just stick with the program, how things get taken away from you, how weird that is.
But it sounds like you're just being a drug addict. You're just doing drugs.
Yeah.
But
I was just doing.
But because your intention was different than the people who are doing ayahuasca, their intention was different. So you wouldn't even know what they experienced because you're
It's
just
true.
doing drugs. And that's why I
Yes.
was asking
Yes,
the
sir.
people who did it for that reason. I just wanted to know what all that meant.
Yes, sir. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just know that I would always go do some drug or chase some girl anytime any little thing went wrong in my life. And when you say that things get taken away from you, and it feels like it happened all of a sudden. I'm like, oh, I just don't do those things anymore. And it's not like I even did anything. You know what I mean? It's so weird. And my life has gotten real simple lately. And I'm very grateful that I don't do those things anymore. And I don't do those things. I don't even want to do them. It's mind blowing, honestly. And I still get stuck up in my thoughts quite a bit. And I think those thoughts were always there, but at least I'm seeing it. I feel like I do wrestle with them, but it is a tangible, real thing.
How do you wrestle with them?
I can tell because I'll go unconscious and I'll be, I'll start judging myself for things in the past. I'll be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that or this, and I try and stop, but I realize I just reacted to everything my whole life. I just was like a ping pong ball. I was totally unconscious all of the time, and at least I'm not that way all of the time now.
Well,
but I do.
You stay with it. Are you doing the silent prayer morning and night?
And all day.
Yeah, practice being present, and it will all be wiped away from you. You have a clear mind.
It's so crazy, man.
But don't.
I really appreciate you guys so much.
You're welcome, but don't fight with it. You just watch it, and the light will fight for you.
Thank you so much, Jesse. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Derek. Stay with it, man. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. All right.
I will.
All right, buddy. Amazing. Bye now. 888-775-3773. Robert out of Kansas. Robert, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Oh, thank you, Jesse. Good morning.
Good morning, Robert.
Thank you, sir. I want to say you have an ability, Jesse, to pick out some talented folks up there, whether it's Derek or Hake or Joel or Nick and then everybody in the back room that's doing their job. You got a real ability there, Jesse, and I really appreciate the thing you put together there.
Thank you. I'm very fortunate to have, as you said, amazing talent. I'm grateful for that.
You got lucky, Jesse. You found Hake. You got lucky, right?
Right on. Amazing.
Yes, sir. I want to answer your biblical question, Jesse. Trusting God.
How do you trust God?
Well, Jesse, for me, I'm 41. And most of this is like hindsight, right? Like hindsight is 20/20. You can look back on things, and I can just see God has done things for me when I didn't understand the situation. I'm just a man, right? And I didn't understand, like maybe it's a girl, maybe it's, some other situation in life. I've been in combat where I've had God do things for me and in the theater of war that I cannot explain. And so looking back on things, it's like I learned to trust him because I'm with this woman. I want her more than I want God, more than I want anything else, and he took her away from me. And, it was painful at the time, but then looking back in hindsight, you realize if I would have been with this woman, this person, it would have turned out like so many of my friends, my family, whoever, where they got with the wrong person. And then, like you always talk about, Jesse, the woman will punish you. She'll try to use the system, your children. She'll try to use anything against you. And I can see what God has done for me in hindsight, Jesse, where I wanted something so bad in the moment, and yet he knew better than I. He knew from a perspective of the Father in heaven, which I'm just a dumb
Robert, hold on. Let me take a quick break. Hold on a minute.
Yes, sir.
The treasure chest is now open on D-Live. I'll be back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Okay, welcome back. I do personal shout-outs for you as well. Anyone that want a personal shout-out, let me know. I will do them. Birthday, wedding, anniversary, congratulations, encouragement, whatever the shout-out is. Go to Cameo, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And we have the best counseling service on this side of heaven. By phone, Skype, or walk-in, individual and family counseling. And so I'm really, really busy. So if you can't get in right away, be patient. We'll get you in as soon as possible. And if someone should reschedule or cancel, we'll let you know. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663, anywhere in the world, around the world, or up and down the world. We even counsel flat earthers. All right, so we're up and down the world and around it. Go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND for an appointment. Also, the Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. The Hake, H-A-K-E report.com. From 9 to 11. And after the Hake, Joel Friday TV. He black. Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. At 12 noon Pacific time. And after the American Anchor Baby, Punchy TV. While you're at Punchy TV, get some Punchy coffee too. PUNCHIE.TV on YouTube and Punchy. Watch this.
We're back with part 2.
Bring down the hellfire.
We only saw him reading scripture. So and right now we're nipped. You have to read the word in order to understand it.
You don't. Not the Bible.
The Spirit gives you common sense. So the Word of God is much more than just the Bible.
Because you are the Bible.
Honestly, I believe that's a dangerous way of thinking right there.
Is there a single example of Jesus being somewhere where he was not wanted?
That's what I'm saying.
Everywhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Tell me one.
He was almost never wanted anywhere he went. If I'm preaching and somebody's coming after me to murder me, I can infer that I'm not welcome.
So they won't answer the question. Okay.
What the? Part 2 at 2 p.m. today, Pacific time. All right? And Hake has a co-host today. Big Bump is back at 9 a.m. Get ready. It's going to be a bumpy ride from Big Bump on the Hake Report today. Give it a good information. It's going to be amazing. Let me go quickly back to Robert out of Cancer, and Robert is responding to the biblical question. So, Robert, how, in short, how do you trust God?
of trusting God, once you see that the earth is flat and doesn't move, you will trust in the creation of the Bible. So that's important. It's 8 inches per mile squared, right? So if you can do that math, you can ascertain.
Robert.
Yeah.
How do you, because of time, how do you trust? You say you trust God, right?
Yes, sir.
And how do you trust him?
Because he did things for me.
No, not why you trust him, but how do you trust him?
Because he has corrected me, sir, in ways that I didn't understand at the time. And I thought that things of the world were being taken away from me. And I realize now those things of the world were being taken away from me because he wanted me to see and know the things that I do. And so he will strike from you the things of this world that are, whether it be money, whether it be any sin you can imagine, he will strike that from you, take it away. And that's why I've learned to trust in God, Jesse, because I thought that I was being punished, and I realize now I was being corrected.
Amazing.
And that is an important difference, sir.
Well, I appreciate that, Robert. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you for that.
Earth is flat, Jesse. Earth is flat. Wake up, bro. Wake
Right
up.
on.
Love you, brother.
You
All
too.
right.
Bye
No,
now.
it's flat.
So,
bro. It's
Robert,
flat. It
so
really is.
Robert, so you're a flat earther?
Sir, if the mathematics are 8
No,
inches
no.
per mile
Are you a
squared-
flat earther?
Oh, absolutely, sir. The Earth is
And
flat.
have you
I try to
always
debunk-
been a flat earther?
2017, I tried to debunk the flat earthers because I thought they were crazy idiots, and I laughed at them like everybody does. And then I tried to go out with a telescope and the mathematics of NASA gives us. And apparently, sir, the Earth doesn't move, and it is absolutely flat. And you can verify this with your own eyes if you just do the work.
Thank you, Robert. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. I love you, brother.
Love
Bye-bye.
you too, buddy. Amazing. Super chat. Super.
Super chats. 5 coffees from C-Bill. Last week's biblical question. Does Satan know God?
Does Satan know God?
Satan doesn't know God. He's a liar and deceiver. Lucifer. Now Satan, a fallen angel, and was created by God. Satan's arch nemesis is Michael the Archangel.
Amazing. Thank you. We dealt with that on Sunday. You can check it out by going to rebuildingtheman.com/church. But thank you. It was amazing.
Super chat from Madeline. Coffee.
Madeline, what a nice name.
Yeah. Hi, Jesse. I totally agree with your caller, Jessica. We need to stop whining and acting pitiful.
Yep. What a mess. I've not seen so many pitiful folks in my whole life. What the? It's not American. Amazing. Thank you.
Kurt bought a coffee. Jesse, you've said before when you were younger, you heard a preacher say, go into your prayer closet.
Right.
Nice.
Thank you. Thanks for reminding me.
Thank you, Kurt.
Yeah, thank you.
Nikki bought a coffee. It's not Tupac. It's an Indian sage who died when she was around the time she was born. Says Nikki.
What's she referred to?
You know her master who died before the year she was born or something like that in 97. And I said, oh, it was Tupac. Maybe it was Tupac.
Oh.
Did Tupac die in 97? No, it was an Indian sage.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Nikki.
Yeah, thanks for clearing that up.
I wonder if that's Nikki Haley.
Probably.
Yeah, it could be.
She's probably looking for a job.
Shout out.
Nikki Haley is. I haven't seen anything of her.
No, I don't think this is Nikki. Same, different Nikki. Thank you, Nikki.
Yeah, thank you, Nikki.
Lin Yen Chin.
I know you're not Nikki Haley.
Me too. Lin Yen Chin says, tangent writing where they are hiding from true sense. That is why debate is their closest thing to conversation. Mouth breathers are all the same, be it Jason of Buffalo or Nick. Which Nick? You aim to pervert language for fun/hype and linguistic convenience.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lin
appreciate
Yen
it.
Chin.
A little bit above my pay grade.
A little above your comprehension.
Yeah. But thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to the top contributors on the D-Live crew, including Games for Rec, Fatty Wat, Misty, Kid Combo 1, Groovy Monkey, CEO of Based, And, of course, the supporters on the Rumble crew, Pastor Chatelet, Age of Inversion, Tarantula, DJT 2020, Old Saucy, and the rest, Dustin Cross, and the Southern Skies, and the rest of the supporters. Thank you all. And thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Thank you all. Amazing. I do appreciate it. Thank you. I want to ask quickly, remember we were making America white again? Great, but white again? I just want your thoughts on this image from the New York Times. Watch this. Is there something to play or just watch?
No, it's an image, and I'm just grabbing the image from the New York Times. My apologies.
You want to come back to it?
I think so.
What the?
Sorry about that.
Okay.
It's on New York.
And I want to give you a quick reminder. Here's a quick reminder to whites to oppose this ideology and embrace their whiteness. Start to embrace your whiteness again. And I want you to take a look at this from 2017. This interview between Jared Taylor and a Muslim American journalist. Watch this from X.
Whites were about to choke to death on their own homogeneity when people like yourself kindly arrived with diversity and saved us from ourselves. No, we built a wonderful country that your ancestors could not have been. That is why people like you come here. And the more you come in larger numbers, you will change the country my ancestors built into something else. And it is completely normal for me to wish to oppose that.
Mr. Taylor, I've taken enough of your time.
What? Did you agree or disagree? Nice. He was right, though. It's like that in all of the European country. White people go there, they build an amazing society, and they make a horrible mistake by letting the non-white people come there to live, and they destroy it. They rebuild it in their own image, and they make it in the image of the same asshole country they come from or came from. Isn't that amazing? And white people won't say it. Donald Trump said it, but most white people would not say it. It's unfortunate. Let me go to Ryan out of New Orleans. Ryan, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Jess? How you doing, man?
All is well, Ryan.
All right, I just want to comment on the call that you had on earlier, and y'all was talking about believing in God and stuff like that, and you asked
how do you trust God?
Yeah.
Do you trust God?
Yeah, I trust God. I do.
And how do you do that?
Because it's something called faith. If you do the studies in the Bible, though, you're supposed to. The saying is that you're supposed to believe in. You're supposed to lead by faith and not by sight.
But how do you trust God? How do you do it?
I mean, you have to look at it though. If you're doing all the things that you're supposed to be doing, and you believe in the truth like you believe in, all you got to do is trust what you believe in, and live day to day. And if you're not doing wrong, the rest gonna play out if you do it truthfully.
And one last time, and it sounds like you answered it, but it's not clear. What are the steps? How do you trust God?
I told you the steps.
Repeat it. I'm black and slow. How do you trust God?
You're supposed to live truthfully according to your heart.
Okay.
And you do everything in it that you're supposed to do.
Okay.
That's how you believe everything is gonna go right in your life.
Oh, I got you. So you said believe your heart and then do everything you're supposed to do, and that's how you trust him, right?
Right.
I
That's
appreciate.
something that people is not doing these days. They're dropping all that.
Amazing.
And that's something your great white hope don't believe in.
Do you love the Great White Hope?
Hell no. I'm being honest.
But I thought how you gonna love God and you don't love the Great White Hope?
Because he's not God.
Oh, God, you're supposed to only love God?
Right. You can't do it.
But God said for you to love
nobody love him.
God said for you to love your neighbor and love your enemies. And it sounds like you don't.
Because he's about to go in the world of hell and his damn self.
What?
He's about to go in the world of hell and his damn self.
What does that have to do with you loving him or not?
Because he's about to go in hell. He's not leading right. He can't lead right.
And what is he doing that's wrong?
Everything.
Like what? For example?
Everything.
Give me one thing.
Take down government. That's one thing. I ain't got to say no more.
You said
take down government.
He's taking down the government?
Yeah, he's trying to take down the government.
So you want to?
He's trying to take. He's trying to take away everybody's equal rights.
You want a big government?
Do you want a big government?
No, I want a small one.
Well, what's a small one supposed to do?
Work for us and not against us. So why do you want a big government? Why do you want a big government? Right. Why do you want a big government?
Why not?
No, that's not an answer, man. Why not? Why do you want a big? Why do you want a big government?
Why you have big? Well, you got a big team working in your office.
Right. Why do you want a big government?
Because you have to have backup.
Backup for
you
what?
You have to have backup. You have to have it.
Backup for what?
Whatever you're gonna need.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Rod. Because of time, I got to run, but thank you, buddy.
All right.
I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Rick out of Hampton, Virginia. I have no idea. Rick, thank you for calling. Thanks for holding you on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing, brother?
All is well, John. I mean, Rick.
Man, I'll tell you, Jason, I'm going to tell you one thing. When Jason come in and try and challenge the scriptures,
oh, Jason
you don't have
from
a
New
full
York.
understanding. Yes. He was just on, and he was talking about Job. He said, "Why did God punish Job?" God didn't punish Job. He just said he was showing Satan that Job loved him without a blessing. So that's why he told Satan you can't kill him. It wasn't nothing about God was slaying him. And one thing I learned too, God will not give you no revelation if you don't humble yourself and turn your life and give your life to Jesus Christ. He won't give you any revelation. And a lot of that is head knowledge and ego.
But Jason doesn't even believe in God or anything. He's called me and talked about God because he said that he loved debating and he believed that he's a good debater. So it's like, I don't want to be debating somebody about God. Doesn't even make sense. But it's not like he believes in God at all. He's made that clear.
Yes, and God even said in the scriptures, don't even waste your time with him.
Yeah,
don't waste your time.
Right.
Because all thing, and you get that mainly a lot from liberals, like like a lot of times, like when you bring spiritual things to liberals, they'll cut you off from being their friends. A lot of them will. And like you said, wish them well when they do that. But that's what a lot of liberals they bank on their egos and how smart they are. And at the end of the day, you realize you're not really smart at all. You're all in your emotions and feelings, trying to act smart to make people think that you're smart.
Yeah, what a mess. What do you think about the Bible tells us to correct our brothers and sisters who wandered from the truth of the gospel?
Jesse, I try and do it in love and in patience.
Yeah.
And then if they don't change, I like how you said, you gotta let them suffer.
Yes.
Because if it's arguing with them, they have a right to be wrong.
Absolutely. 100%.
They have a
Never
right to be
argue
wrong.
with the devil. They have a right to be wrong.
And you're right. I mean, like, because what are you going to get? Next thing you know, you get into an argument with this guy, and you should have never been in that argument with him anyway.
Yeah.
He has a right to be wrong. One of my favorite preachers, Adrian Rogers, say that. He have a right to be wrong.
Absolutely.
Don't argue with it. Someone believe in abortion as a Christian, and you can explain to them how God feels about it, and they still want to hold on to it, they have a right to be wrong.
Absolutely. Amazing.
Because at the end of the day, you know, and, Jed, can I ask a biblical question real quick?
Real fast, how do you trust God?
Live in the present. Live in the present. You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing about the future. You don't know the future, and just do the things that God allows you to do. That's how I believe you trust God.
Amazing.
You
Thank
know,
you.
a lot of people. Yes, sir. And I know I'll be waiting for the end. What was the biblical question for last week, Jeffrey?
I put my little 2 cents in on Sunday.
Yeah, what was the biblical answer for last biblical question? Last week?
Let's see. Does Satan know God?
Ooh, I say he do. He he may not but he knows God, but he don't want us to know God so he can deceive us.
Well, check out last Sunday meeting. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/church. And we talked about it this past Sunday. Okay?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do, Jesse.
Thank you, Rick.
We'll do. Love you. Be blessed, brother.
You too, buddy. Appreciate it. Let me go to DEXTER, first-time caller out of M-I, crooked letter, I, crooked letter, I, humbag, I, Mississippi. DEXTER, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jason, how's it going?
All is well, DEXTER.
I wanted to answer the biblical question.
How do you trust God?
Yes, sir.
And how do you do that?
By still and doing nothing.
By what now?
By being still and doing nothing.
Okay, amazing. I appreciate that. Thank you, and I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you, DEXTER.
All right, you're welcome.
I appreciate it. Amazing.
All right.
888-775-3773. Let me go to Texas and talk to first-time caller Gabriel. Gabriel.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Gabriel, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, Jesse?
No.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Not yet.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Not yet.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Jesse, oh, you're messing with me, man. I just want to say, Jesse, that to me, I think it's amazing. First of all, happy President's Day. First-time caller, we love you. We think you're absolutely amazing. But to me, it's absolutely amazing how we have a whole entire month dedicated to LGBT, but only one day for our presidents who founded the country, one day for our veterans who served the country, and one day for our memorial for people who died for this country. But LGBT gets an entire month. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing, but fret not. We have July. The entire month of July is White History Month.
Well, that's not officially recognized, but and also I don't agree that any race should have their entire month. Black History Month, White History Month, Hispanic Heritage, like we're all one race under God. God doesn't see race.
Absolutely, man. It's a worldly thing which make it evil. It's not a good idea at all. But
it is not.
But we do White History Month because we don't want to forget, and we don't want the people to forget that this country was founded and built by white people, by white men. And they're trying to erase that history with fake history, so we're just trying to remind them.
Well, yes, I agree, and I agree and a little bit disagree in a way, because yes, it was founded and the infrastructure and all that good stuff was by the white man.
Yeah.
But a lot of this country was built on the backs of slaves. But also, like you point out, there was black slave owners, stuff like that. And now we have the Hispanics. They're the new slaves. That's why they want to keep all the illegals in this country, because to use them as slaves for cheap labor.
Amazing. Gabriel, thank you, man. I got to run because of time, but thanks for the call.
Thank you, sir.
All right, buddy. I got to run. I'm out of time. The Hake Report is coming up now, and Big Bob is guest hosting or co-hosting with Hake today, so you don't want to miss it. Joel Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Joel Friday TV, and then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. And then Punches TV at 2. So a busy schedule. Get on that straight and narrow. Stay there. Stay there no matter what. Stay on the straight and narrow. Do the silent prayer. RebuildingTheMan.com/prayer. All right? Thanks for your donation, your support of Bond. RebuildingTheMan.com/donate or call 800-411-BOND. And get Punch's coffee. RebuildingTheMan.com/store. Every dime goes back to the organization. Thank you all. Amazing Ladies' Day. Bye. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, and individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church.